I'm Christian Grajales, and I'm 9 years old.
I like Christian a lot, and I love him very much. And I want him to continue to love flowers and to carry on our cultural traditions here in Santa Elena. My generation is dying out. But I want this generation to continue, the children. Hopefully, someone will teach the children about the local culture in Santa Elena and can motivate them to love flowers, to plant, and to persevere. They don't have to break their backs doing menial labor. Instead, they can be planting and cultivating.
He was teaching me the names of the flowers and how to arrange them in the silleta and how to make the silleta, how to put them on, if firmly or gently, or if they are delicate or not.
I will tell you an important story I know about silleteros. These silletas, where we have arranged these flowers, were used to carry flowers on foot to either the flower market in Medellin or the Guayaquil Plaza, which used to not be a plaza at all. They were used by our forefathers to take their flowers to market and earn some money. Back then, there were no roads. There was nothing in these parts. If someone became sick, we sat the person down on the silleta and carried them out to a doctor or to a road where you could catch a car or a bus. Our grandparents left us their cultural heritage to use silletas to carry not just flowers, but sick people as well. Because there are villages where even today there is no road where you can evacuate a sick person, and it's much easier to carry someone out laying on a stretcher than sitting on a silleta. Some of these paths are so narrow that they can't be called roads because they are no more than footpaths, so silletas were ideal for evacuating people anywhere, to go see the doctor or for any other reason. So silletas were very useful to us, and to this day, it remains a part of our culture, and we will continue with it throughout our lives, and we hope that the youth of today carry on this cultural tradition.
Saludos desde Colombia a todo el mundo, con esta canción que nace del corazón. Perdone si con mi canto les interrumpo, les pido 3 minuticos de su atención. Por la Feria de las Flores que hacemos en Medellín, la parranda en mi Guajira y las arepas del maíz, por mi gente que es tan buena y a mi nombre de mi nación, Colombia te abre las puertas de su inmenso corazón.
For me, flowers represent happiness. Because our grandparents left us this heritage, and we have to take care of it, and we have to grow them to show the world the variety of flowers that we have throughout Medellin.
From Christian, I hope that he parades with care, with love, happy, well-behaved, with a lot of discipline. I hope that people don't have to direct him from one place to another, but rather that he knows what he is doing and where he is going. That instead of correcting him, people would congratulate him.
I see myself parading with other children, applauding, us being very happy, carrying the silleta and showing the world all of the plants that we have. We make the heart of the silleta with the immortelle. We make the frame with vira vira, the letters with ecstasis, the foliage with gladiolas, pinocchios, and blues.
The Silleterito Festival in Santa Elena is the greatest for me. Not just because I'm here now, but also because I worked at the beginning, when the Children's Silletero Parade was born, and we organized the first 2 children's parades when I was president of the foundation, and look at it today. We started with 50 Silleteritos, and today we have 600.
Mi silleta means Colombian and silletero from the heart. I feel very happy because our grandparents left us this heritage. And we have to continue with the tradition. And we are also showing the variety of flowers we have here in Medellin.
It brings us joy for people to come visit us, for them to know that this parade is a source of regional pride. I will say it again and again, not for the government, but instead for us that are involved in this. The space for these silleteritos to grow flowers is disappearing. And it's hard to see that this beautiful tradition has an uncertain future in this territory. On the one hand, I think it's beautiful, but on the other hand, it's very worrisome. We have to come up with something. Maybe the government can help us incentivize the youth to grow flowers and to keep alive this beautiful culture in Santa Elena.
I love growing flowers because it's a lot of fun. It's fun to grow them, plant them. It's also fun to play with them and to pluck them for the silleta.
We have some starter programs, and we're motivating them. You have to motivate the youth in 2 ways. One is by teaching them that the land is essential to the life of the farmer. A farmer without land is not a farmer. And you have to extract from the earth its products, and not just extract them, but you also have to know how to sell them, so that there can be a monetary incentive for the families to sustain themselves and the culture will not disappear. If there is no commerce in flowers, the culture will not sustain itself. Because growing flowers and not selling them is sad, especially for the farmer who grows them and doesn't know how to sell them. You have to teach the youth two things: how to grow and also how to sell. Because unfortunately, some people here grow flowers but don't like selling them. Others come around here and buy them at rock-bottom prices. And a farm can't sustain itself at those ridiculous prices because taxes go up all the time. And you need more and more money to keep the farm. We are weeding the flowers because weeds will always grow in these fields. You have to weed flowers so that 2 months before harvest, their stem begins to strengthen. If there is too much shade, the stem will be weak, so we have to keep it clean. The upkeep of a garden crop is much like maintaining a family. You can't abandon it for a single day. Every week, you have to go from plant to plant to see what they need. The overall crop, the flowers themselves, the species themselves, they will tell you what they are needing, whether they need to be sprayed, fertilized, or watered. And for the 2 months before the parade, during that time, you have to take greater care of the crop, because that is when the flowering takes center stage, and the plants are preparing to flower. And that is when you need to take greater care of them, because the plant's flowering depends on a good development. That is very important. My role is to keep tabs of the planting dates so that they are ready for the time of the festival. Here we have gladiolos and status, which are ready in between 90 and 100 days, and we have others that take 120 days. We also have some perennials. We have astromelia, which is a perennial as well. You have to know how to manage them, when to fertilize them, and when to plant them, so that they bloom on those particular dates. Oftentimes, people ask me, what do you get out of this? You're killing yourselves working. For me, the greatest satisfaction is that because of flowers, I have been able to go to many different countries. Among them Japan, on the other side of the world.
Sumimasen. Colombia no hana no matsuri desu.
I have been to Japan, to New York, London, Venezuela, Spain, and many other parts of the world, showcasing this beautiful art that we make with the flowers in our village, showcasing the art that our ancestors taught us. There are countries where people ask, what is that? And they stare and marvel at our way of working with flowers. There are beautiful flowers all over the world, like in Holland, for example. But when they see you making a silleta, they think it's wonderful. They marvel at how we craft them. But the greatest thing about a silleta is to display it. Like when you carry it and show it on the various streets, like in New York. There we were on that very important street in Brooklyn. It's wonderful how people get excited about this. I have a little musical group which I do as a hobby, not to make money or anything, but to make the community happy. I love to see the community entertained. When there are events, people get together and celebrate with the band. People have fun for 2 or 3 hours. And that helps us to change the work routine. It helps people get out of the house. It brings joy to the people in the countryside, since there are no other distractions here on Sundays or weekdays. I have participated in the parade for 31 years. I finished second 3 times and third 2 times, but never first place. The months before the parade are very busy. You have to prepare the wood frames and cultivate the flowers so that they are in full bloom and beautiful on that date. You have to prepare the scale model, but you also have to prepare yourself, prepare your health. Because being a silletero is hard work. It's very hard because of the heat, the wind, the cold, the lack of sleep. But that is all part of being a silletero and of going to such a beautiful party. You suck it up and forget all about the fatigue when you're parading through the streets of Medellin. The applause makes you forget the fatigue and the lack of sleep.
Para mí ser silletero es, yo diría que lo máximo que tiene un habitante de esta región.
Being a silletero for me, I would say, is the greatest for someone from this region because this can show to the whole world the peace and tranquility that comes from working. Being a silletero is first and foremost about working with flowers, because if you don't work with flowers, you're not a silletero. That is one of my basic rules. I say that anyone can participate in the parade, but for me, the essence of the silletero is someone who lives in this region and works with flowers. Another important thing is to be respectful of this village's ancestors. Those are for me the basic tenets of being a silletero. I feel realized as a silletero. You have to love the region, respect its products, its flowers, love the open space, the fields, your neighbors.
acogerlos como del corregimiento.
Welcome visitors as one of our own. But whatever the motivation may be, silletero culture must continue. You carry it in your blood and you live sharing it with others.
Finalista al menos entre las 10.
Don Carlos Zapata, ganador absoluto. Felicitaciones, don Carlos.
Ahora sí ya tenemos el nuevo ganador de
Don Carlos, el alcalde Aníbal Gaviria hace entrega de este reconocimiento como ganador absoluto. Mil y mil y mil felicitaciones. Don Carlos será quien orgullosamente abra este desfile de silleteros.
Right now, a lot of things go through your mind at the same time. First, the joy of being able to join the parade another year. The joy of parading alongside so many people is a great satisfaction, and the joy of having things work out. It's so many things at the same time. The happiness I feel as a person is indescribable, as a human being put on this earth by God, who tasked me to make beautiful things, to bring joy to many people. That is my mission. I see that many people are taken with the joy that comes from viewing the flowers. There are people that think that this doesn't mean much or some such thing. But we can't relinquish our culture, because what we have here is a treasure. Being silleteros, this is a treasure, a heritage left to us by our grandfathers. And we can't lose it. So we have to try and teach our children and our grandchildren so that they carry on our culture and won't lose their will to plant. I am thinking ahead of how I want my silleta to look like next year, if God is willing, so I can participate in next year's parade. Now that I more or less know how I want my silleta to look like next year. That's part of being in the parade, starting to prepare for next year. We know we have the mission that if this year God favored us with 4th place, next year, I think, why can't we be first? You always have to maintain your morality and your faith in God, and maintain the hope that one can continue to work flowers as long as I am healthy. As long as I am healthy, I will try to do better each day.